Joining us for some analysis, the Australian's political editor, Simon Benson. Simon, as you wrote in the paper today, the coalition's hit that psychological threshold of having a 4 in front of its primary vote. That's important.
Yeah, it is. Good morning, Kieran. Thanks for having me on. Look, it is the magic number. And it's significant for a couple of reasons. One being that it puts the coalition near striking distance, or within the striking distance of where they need to be very competitive at the next election. The other point I'd make about it is that, in fact, it's the first time since June 2021 that the coalition have had a 4 in front of their primary number. So if, as a measure of Peter Dutton's success in rebuilding the coalition base and slowly but surely getting that number higher, you'd have to say he's succeeded, and I think that's a significant thing. The other point I'd make, though, just the caveat on all this is that Labor's primary vote's gone up 2 points to 33 as well, which is slightly above its election result. So you can see the problem here for the coalition, that Labor have won an election with a primary vote of that size before. So there's still a lot more work for them to do.
Yes, that's right. The trend, though, is encouraging for the coalition. The caveat you point out is well made, and I think it's an important one to mention, but still that trend is encouraging, and certainly for those who might have doubted Peter Dutton, you look at that preferred Prime Minister ranking and looking at the graph in your newspaper, and it's just nudging up towards the Prime Minister's rating.
Well, look, all the indicators are pointing in the coalition's favour. There's no doubt about that, and that's been happening over time. And I think one of the remarkable things about Newspoll, which I think's worth noting, is that even for the past 18 months, you haven't seen any of those wild fluctuations in polls that you often see from time to time. They go up, they go down. Newspoll has been very steady, and what it's shown is a sure and slow, but a sure erosion, a continuing erosion of Labor's vote of support for Labor. Now, that will be concerning for them, because if that continues apace, the trajectory it's going, then the election's up for grabs, you'd have to say. On those numbers you mentioned, Peter Dutton's numbers, they're the best approval numbers he's had so far since being leader. They're Anthony Albanese's worst, no surprise there considering the last month. But it's that number that you mentioned, the preferred Prime Minister, the gap now between the two leaders is only 4 points. And if you assume that there's a premium already built in for the incumbent on those numbers, then the question about whether Peter Dutton's electable has definitely been answered.